Hi, I'm Carrie Budoff Brown, a White House reporter for Politico. Last night we heard from the president on his Syria strategy. And we're going to go through clips of what he said, and then we'll tell you what he meant.
I will not put American boots on the ground in Syria. I will not pursue an open-ended action like Iraq or Afghanistan. I will not pursue a prolonged air campaign like Libya or Kosovo. This would be a targeted strike to achieve a clear objective: deterring the use of chemical weapons and degrading Assad's capabilities.
So what the president was trying to convey in this clip was that he gets it, that he understands Americans are sick of war, and he was trying to put a personal spin also later in the speech that, he understands he was elected to get Americans out of war, not start new wars. So this speech was really about trying to convince Americans that he's not going to get them into a prolonged military action.
And so, to my friends on the right, I ask you to reconcile your commitment to America's military might with a failure to act when a cause is so plainly just.
So this clip was really one of the more overtly political lines of his speech. He said to the right, maybe you'll think about your past positions on military intervention, particularly in Syria, and come to his side of the argument. For the White House, they knew this would be difficult getting a vote, but they didn't quite expect Republicans who had supported intervention just a few days or weeks or months earlier that they would come out against what he's trying to do. So he's really putting them on notice and saying, I know where you were, and I hope you come back to my side of the argument soon.
To my friends on the left, I ask you to reconcile your belief in freedom and dignity for all people with those images of children writhing in pain and going still on a cold hospital floor. For sometimes resolutions and statements of condemnation are simply not enough.
So again, he went after the right. This is him putting his base on notice as well, saying, I'm going to go try this diplomatic route that many of you wanted me to do. I'm going through that now, but I probably will have to come back to you in the future and get your vote on a resolution authorizing force, because this whole Russia-Syria proposal, while something I'm going to explore, probably won't work. So we're going to have to take some different kind of action in the future, most likely, and I'm going to need you on board.
As some members of Congress have said, there's no point in simply doing a pinprick strike in Syria.
So this one was simple. He was really trying to clear up this confusion from John Kerry, who said on Monday morning that this action would be unbelievably small. It confused the argument, and this was a pretty indignant portion of the speech where he said the United States doesn't do pinpricks. And so he's really speaking both to people who are confused by John Kerry, but also critics of his plan at large, who are saying, we don't even know if this is worth it because it's not really going to do anything. So he's saying, America doesn't do pinpricks. Even when an action is small, it's an overwhelming use of force for a country like Syria.
However, over the last few days, we've seen some encouraging signs, in part because of the credible threat of U.S. military action, as well as constructive talks that I had with President Putin.
What the president meant by this line was that the breakthrough was not just luck. He had played a role in bringing Syria and Russia to this point where they're talking about a peaceful solution rather than a military strike, and that he was a part of it. It wasn't just an offhanded remark by his Secretary of State that got them to this point. Thanks so much for tuning in. To catch other reporting from me and the other reporters here at Politico, please go to Politico.com.